Hello student. So let's start, that is the sensory organ. So the sensory organ are five. First, that is the tongue, nose, eyeball, ear and the skin. According to Ayurveda, there are the 11 indriya are present. Out of these, 5 are the Gyanendriya, 5 are the Karmendriya and 1 it is the Ubhayatmak man. So the Gyanendriya, that is called the sensory organ. So they carry the special senses from organ to that the cerebral cortex. So let's see the details of the sensory organ. So first sensory organ, that is the tongue. The tongue, the sensory organ. So it is a mobile muscular organ present into that the oral cavity which bulges upward from the floor of mouth, and its posterior part, this one, forms the anterior wall of the oropharynx. It is essentially a mass of skeletal muscle which is covered by the mucous membrane. The muscle mass are separated into that the right and the left halves by a median fibrous septum, which are present here. A tongue is separated from the teeth by a deep alveolo-lingual sulcus. So from this region, which is filled by the palatoglossal arch to that the molar teeth. So here. Then the functions of the tongue. So tongue should be perform the functions, that is first it is the taste due to presence of the many taste bud. Second, that is the speech due to movement of the tongue. Then the mastication and the deglutition. So these are the function which is performed by the tongue. Then that is the shape of the tongue. The tongue is a conical in shape, being elongated posterior-anteriorly and flattened dorso-ventrally. Then the external features of the tongue. The tongue should be divided into, that is the root, then that is the tip, and remaining part it is called the body. So let's see first, that is the root of the tongue. So the root of the tongue are attained a mandible and the hyoid bone, or it should be attached to the hyoid bone and the mandible by muscles, and it is because of this attachment the tongue it is not swallowed during the deglutition. The nerve and the vessels of the tongue enter throughout this root. Then the tip. So this one, the anterior free end of the tongue which comes in contact with the central incisor. So it is called the tip. And the remaining part, large part of the tongue, it is called the body. So the bulk of the tongue between the root and the tip, it is called the body. It has dorsal and ventral surface. So and the right and the left lateral margin. So dorsal surface, this one, the ventral surface and the right and left margins. So these two. Let's see, that is the dorsal surface of the tongue. So it is the convex to all sides and it should be divided by a V-shaped sulcus, that is called the sulcus terminalis. So here you can see the sulcus terminalis, that is the V-shaped structure. So because of the V-shaped structure, the dorsum of the tongue, it should be divided into that the two parts, that is anterior 2/3 part, it is called the oral part, and posterior 1/3 part, it is called the pharyngeal part. Then the apex of the sulcus terminalis, it is marked by the foramen. So here, that is called the foramen cecum. So this one, which indicates the point of the origin of the median thyroid diverticulum, that is the hypoglossal duct in the embryonic life. Then the feature of differed marked by the oral and the pharyngeal part. So first, that is, this is the oral part of the tongue. So it shows a median furrow representing the bilateral origin of the tongue. So here you can see this is the median furrow. Then a large number of the papillae. So here these papillae are present. The pharyngeal part, it represents the large number of the lymphoid follicle. This one. and a large number of mucus and the serous gland. So this one. So let's see, that is the oral part, detailed structure of the oral part of the tongue. So the dorsum of the oral part present a shallow median furrow, this one, or the groove. The mucous membrane, it is moist and pink, and it appear a velvety appearance due to presence of the number of the papillae. Then the projection of the lamina propria of the mucous membrane, which covered with the epithelium, and the following four types of the papillae are present. So first papillae, that is the valate papillae. So here you can see, that is the valate papillae. So the valate papillae, these are the largest, that is near about 1 to 2 mm in the diameter and 8 to 12 in numbers. So here, and they are arranged a V-shaped row in front of the sulcus terminalis. Each papillae, it is like a truncated cone surrounded by a circular sulcus, which is bounded on a periphery by the wall of the velum. The duct of the serous gland open into that the sulcus, and the taste buds are found in the papillae and its velum. Then the next papillae, that is the filiform papillae. So here you can see, that is, these are the filiform papillae, this one. So the filiform papillae, these are the narrowest and the most numerous. They are minute conical projection which is sharply pointed the tips. The filiform papillae are located abundantly on the dorsum of the tongue and are largely responsible for the velvety appearance. Then the fungiform papillae, so this one. These. So the fungiform papillae have a red rounded head about 1 mm in diameter and the narrow base. Mostly at the apex and the margin of the tongue, these papillae are present, while some are scattered over the dorsum of the tongue. So they are visible as a discrete pink pin heads. So here on the periphery and the tip, abundantly these fungiform papillae are present. Then the foliate papillae, so this one on both sides. So they consist of the inconstant vertical grooves and ridges near the margin in front of the sulcus terminalis. The foliate papillae are more prominent in the tongue of the rabbits. They are rudimentary in the human being. Then next to it, that is the pharyngeal part. Then next to it, that is the pharyngeal part. So the dorsum of pharyngeal part present posteriorly and forms the base of the tongue. The base of the tongue that constituent the anterior wall of the oropharynx, so this one, and can be inspected only the use of a mirror or by a downward pressure on the tongue with the tongue spacula. The mucous membrane cover the dorsum of the pharyngeal part is devoid of that the papillae. It is, however, appears the uneven due to the presence of numerous lymphoid follicles. So here you can see, that is the lymphoid follicle. These follicles are collectively termed as the lingual tonsil. Then the mucous membrane in this part is continuous with the mucous membrane covering of the palatine tonsil. So these are, the two are the palatine tonsil and the pharynx. Posteriorly, it is reflected into the front of the epiglottis, this one. So the in relation with that the epiglottis, it should be form the three fold of the mucous membrane. So one is, that is the median fold, it is called the median glossoepiglottic fold. So this one, and the two lateral folds are present, these two, that is called the lateral glossoepiglottic fold. Here that is the median glossoepiglottic fold, and this one, that is both sides, that is the lateral glossoepiglottic fold. So this one here you can see. So the space on each side of the median glossoepiglottic fold and between the lateral glossoepiglottic fold, so this area, it is called the vallecula. So this one. After then, let's see, that is the ventral or the inferior surface of the tongue. So here the inferior surface of the tongue. The inferior surface of the tongue is situated in the oral cavity only. The mucous membrane lining in this surface, it is very much thin, smooth and the purplish. It is reflected into the floor of the mouth. The under the aspect of the tongue present the features. So first, that is the frenulum linguae. So here this one. So the frenulum linguae, it is a median fold of the mucous membrane connecting the tongue to that the floor of the mouth. So that is the median frenulum. So this. Then the deep lingual veins. So this one, blue color here. So deep lingual veins may be seen through the mucous membrane on the either side of the frenulum linguae. This one. Then third one, that is the plica fimbriata. So this one. These two lateral folds which is present lateral to that this lingual veins. So the plica fimbriata, it is a finger or that is the fringe fimbriated fold of the mucous membrane present lateral to that the lingual vein, directed forwards and medially towards the tip of the tongue. So at the base of the frenulum of the tongue, on the inferior surface of the tongue, there is opening of a pair of opening of the submandibular duct. So here, and just lateral to it, that is a opening of the duct of the sublingual gland. So here you can see, that is the sublingual fold, and in this sublingual fold, that is the small opening, several openings are present. So that is the opening of the sublingual gland.